Released in 2017, the iPhone 8 Plus is now more than 5 years old. Being the last big iPhone with a classic home button, the 8 Plus is still very popular among people. In this video, I'm going to tell you if the iPhone 8 Plus is still worth it in 2023. When it comes to the build quality, the iPhone 8 Plus is made of glass in front and back with rounded aluminum frames. Even after all this time, this device feels very good and premium in the hand. The 8 Plus is a big and wide device thanks to its big bezels all around. Personally, I am all in for bezel-less phones, but there are many people out there that still love this design that contains the home button. Because of the big bezels on top and bottom and because of the old screen format, the iPhone 8 Plus is bigger compared to a 6.1-inch iPhone that has the newer design. The 8 Plus is also IP67 water and dust resistant, but if you buy it used, don't rely on this, since it might have been opened in the past and lost this feature. The iPhone 8 Plus has a 5.5-inch LCD display with a Full HD resolution. The display of the 8 Plus isn't as good anymore. Its colors aren't as vibrant as OLED phones, and even though it is a bright panel, it doesn't come closer to newer phones. Personally, I don't really enjoy watching content on this device. Everything is perfectly fine with the display, but I can't stand the bezels that surround it. They just make the viewing experience much worse. This is, however, a personal complaint, and it shouldn't be a deal breaker for you. One thing I love about the display of the 8 Plus is the 3D touch feature, which got removed with later iPhones. My iPhone 8 Plus runs perfectly with the new iOS 16. And I really do enjoy the lock screen customizations. As things stand, however, iOS 16 might be the latest version for the 8 Plus, so you should keep that in mind. When it comes to performance, the iPhone 8 Plus is still good. It is powered by the Apple A11 Bionic chip, and despite being many years old, this device still delivers. It is still very fast on opening apps and games, even though it takes a couple of seconds more compared to newer iPhones. For its age, I think the 8 Plus is still great. RAM management is also good despite only having 3GB, and once again it isn't the best, but for the most part it does the job. As you can see, the 8 Plus comes with 64GB of base storage, which in 2023 isn't enough, but there is another variant with 256GB of storage. On the back, the iPhone 8 Plus has dual cameras, a 12-megapixel main lens and a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with a 2x optical zoom. This is one area where the iPhone 8 Plus does feel its age. In daylight, both cameras are actually still good. They take detailed pictures even though the dynamic range isn't the greatest. For people that only want to take good pictures without going into the details, it still works. It is low light where this phone falls behind. It doesn't support the night mode, so low light pictures are just unusable. The front camera is a 7-megapixel lens, and it is the worst of all. It takes mediocre pictures in daylight and terrible pictures in low light. Video, on the other hand, is good for a 5-year-old device. The 8 Plus can record videos up to 4K at 60 frames per second, but for the best results you should record at 4K at 30 frames per second. It does a good job with the stabilization, but the results aren't as sharp. When it comes to audio quality, the iPhone 8 Plus does its job still very good. It comes with a pair of stereo speakers and they are very loud and clear. They aren't the most balanced, however, since the bottom speaker is louder compared to the one found on the earpiece. A headphone jack is missing here, but I think everyone knows this by now. Probably the biggest downside of the iPhone 8 Plus nowadays is the battery. This device has a 2700 mAh battery capacity, which isn't enough in 2023. To make things worse, most of the models out there have a degraded battery. As you can see, my unit has only a 76% battery health, and the battery life lately has been terrible for me. If you can find a device with a battery health around 90% or more, then I would say it will still deliver, but for a device like mine the battery will be a concern. The iPhone 8 Plus has the Touch ID integrated in the home button, and after so many years it is still very reliable. For me, Face ID is more convenient, but Touch ID isn't bad at all. So is the iPhone 8 Plus still worth it in 2023? I would say yes and no. The 8 Plus is a device for people that love the old iPhone design and use their phones only for calls and social media. On the other hand, people that like to do more with their phones and explore more features shouldn't buy the 8 Plus, since it lacks the innovation that happened after it came out. Those people probably already have newer devices, so the 8 Plus isn't really an option. If you have this device, I think it is probably time to let it rest and go for a newer model. So this was my review of the iPhone 8 Plus for 2023. If you did enjoy it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.